We're back here, regular conversations.
Episode 3,
Me and Nick.
February 16th. Just got through watching Takeover Portland.
And this is your Takeover Portland review. Now, if I were to give this pay-per-view a star rating out of 5, I would have to give it a 4.5.
4.5. Okay.
Maybe 4.25. I'm sorry. Maybe 4.25. Because Keith Lee and Donovan Dijakovic tore the house down.
Yeah, they did too. They did 2 men that they side shouldn't have done in that match.
And the fact of the matter is that their match was the best match on the card.
Yeah, it really was and it just showed. It was a showcase for both of their size, strength, and agility. I was very much. I was not surprised, but I was welcomingly excited that they let them go to those limits to give us one of those matches they had in the Indies.
I think they topped all the matches that they've ever had before. Because uh, they did like maybe 4 or 5 spots that probably they never done before in any of them, and the fact that they hit the spots, like hit them, from the Spanish Fly to the Spirit Bomb into the backflip stand up to it into a second Spirit Bomb into the springboard jump off the top rope to the outside in between the announce tables on Keith Lee in a chair. I mean,
Yeah, neither one of them, they were not supposed to do the things they did.
yeah. So, I mean, the corkscrew moonsault on the Keith Lee from Dominic Dijakovic. I mean, yeah, that's, to me, I think that just set itself at a 5-star match.
Yeah, it did. I mean, that was obviously that's gonna be a classic match, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's up there for NXT match of the year. Just because it was that good between those two. And this was really the culmination of a rivalry between them. So I agree with you. I get that 5 stars.
Okay. So, in our predictions, I think we both picked Keith Lee to win. So, I didn't write it down or anything, but maybe I should next time. But anyway, Keith Lee won. So from that point forward, I think every match started to take a tick down.
Yeah.
From 5-star.
Yeah.
So Tegan Knox, Dakota Kai in their street fight. I'll say this. It was getting to a 5-star, but with that being said, it's like that whole angle at the end with whoever the girl is, y'all don't, she's not a big indie star, 1. 2, y'all have never built her as anything on NXT. Yeah, she's been at the house shows and things of that nature, but don't nobody know who she is for real. So the angle with her helping Dakota Kai win makes no sense because Dakota Kai didn't even know this chick was helping her win.
Right. They gave that look. And like to me, that was if I had to assign a rating just to that match, in my opinion, that was like 3.6. It was promising. Then it started to get underwhelming at the end when the chick showed up. That was very underwhelming because I wanted to see what Tegan Knox was gonna do because she looked like she was prepared to take it to another level in a street fight.
Yeah.
So
But they did some awesome like hits with the, you know, hitting her with the top of the trash can, doing a senton on her with a trash can over her, you know, the kicks to the face. I mean, they did a lot.
right.
Don't get me wrong, but the ending angle brought it down for me to probably like a 4 star, 3.75 star match.
Because because to be honest with you, I don't even know who the woman was that interfered. Who is that?
I don't know her name. And they said it, and I still don't know her name.
Right. I know they said that's somebody from Live. Now maybe somebody will tell me or we look it up or whatever, but that was underwhelming because like what is she inserting herself in their rivalry? Is she aligned with Dakota Kai, and based on the looks Dakota Kai was giving her, I could assume that 'cause she was like, "Why are you here?" Yeah, okay, that's how she was looking. So I don't understand that, but also at the same token, I really wanted to see how far Tegan Oxford's grade take because
Yeah,
she already had her down when she took the knee out.
and I give it to it. Tina Knox was looking like the star that they saw her out to be before both ACL injuries. She actually,
Oh, she tore both of them.
yeah, like the first year at the Mae Young Classic, she tore ACL, and then the second Mae Young Classic, she tore her other ACL.
Oh man, that's
And
some
she
for
was
real.
in the second Mae Young Classic. I think they was building her up to win it,
Wow,
and she did it in the semifinal match. I think against Tony Storm.
wow. Okay,
So Tegan Knox was supposed to be the next big thing. She had been, but she tore both her ACLs at
okay,
different back-to-back years. And then when she came back, she was part of Team Kick because Dakota Kai had got injured too as well during that time, her second time, and so they got cool because they were both rehabbing together.
okay.
You know what I'm saying? So that's where Team Kick came from. So Tegan Knox on her third turn got turned away again by Dakota Kai, messing up her leg. No tears this time. It was just messed up. You know what I'm saying? It was just really jacked up to where she couldn't walk because Dakota Kai really went in on that leg. But she proved herself to me.
Like I said, she proved herself. I just wanted to see where she was willing to go with it. Because after she took the knee out, first I was impressed. Let me say this in the fact that with us really not knowing what either one of them were capable of doing in that type of environment in that match, I was thoroughly pleased with both of their performance, and I wanted to see the match actually end cleanly from one of them. Now, this girl's interference throws a monkey wrench and all that because what is her intentions? It's like y'all just muddied up the waters. Why?
Yeah. Why?
So
So I mean, I think I thought Tegan Knox was gonna win. You thought Dakota Kai was gonna win. You were right, but the way it happened, not so,
right,
you know, cool or whatever. So about a 3.75. So then we get Johnny Gargano versus Finn Balor. A grudge match nonetheless. A real technically sound match. If I were to put a 5-star rating on it, it'll just get a flat 4. Um, they did a lot of callbacks to their previous match. They did, you know what I'm saying? They did all their moves, every move that they have in their repertoire, plus some, you know what I'm saying? And to me, Finn did his thing, and I feel like he's more cockier than ever. So I guess, I'll take him winning.
yeah. Um, I believe. First of all, I believe with the match, and I told you earlier, this was a dream match. If this was Tokyo in 2014, that would have been a classic. And it stood up there. That was the feel of this match with the chain wrestling and everything. I also felt for the trajectory of what Finn was trying to accomplish during his resurgence back to NXT. He had to win this match, so he had to go a little farther than before. He had to, basically show the essence of what his new Prince gimmick was all about.
Yeah, this is
And who better than against Johnny Gargano? So
right. So, do you think the demon will ever come back?
honestly, I'm and it's made. I know this is against your thinking because you like the Taker, but no, the with what he's doing now, the Prince. This is a callback to when he was Prince Paladin, Prince Devitt in New Japan,
Mm-hmm.
mixed with Balor, but it's him. This is where he wanted to be when he came. So he gonna continue on to that. And see, the demon thing was more of a WWE concept. On the indies, he wore the face paint for certain matches and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think we'll see the demon again unless it's the right circumstances. Now maybe if, and I don't know it, like maybe it was like some wrestler comes that's like real dark or something. Because I would say if he ever got a chance to fight the Fiend again,
Yeah.
then we would see the demon. But as of now, I don't know how he would do it.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Him going back to NXT kind of messed up that trajectory of the Fiend versus the Demon.
Right.
A match we still have never gotten. Although when they first tried to do it, it's supposed to be Sister Abigail versus the Demon Balor. But I'm glad they didn't go that route. But now you have a whole Fiend, you know what I'm saying, and the whole gimmick of that
In
in
itself,
in
right.
itself versus the demon who basically is undefeated on the main roster as the Demon.
Right.
So, um, with that, I mean, we'll take it back to what we predicted. You predicted Finn Balor will win because you felt like he needed this win to prove, you know, what it meant for him coming back to NXT. And for me, I thought Johnny Gargano was going to win, maybe call back to Ciampa versus him at WrestleMania for the title that it was supposed to be last year. But now we'll get to that.
Right, we get to that later because we'll see that he can take the loss and won't lose any standing.
Right, and then still probably had that match, just not for the title at WrestleMania.
But we'll get, like you said, we'll get to that.
But the next match was really underwhelming for me, and that's Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley.
Okay.
Now they got their stuff off.
Wait a minute.
What?
I gotta start with this first of all.
Okay.
No matter what we rate, I love the fact that she came out in the Black Panther Wakanda Forever Black History in the make outfit. So
I agree. Her outfit was amazing. You know, she makes her own stuff. And being that it's Black History Month, you know, a call about her being historic while in Black History Month and being black. But getting to the match wise, Rhea did a lot of stuff that I didn't know she had in her repertoire. We really never really got to see Rhea, go in like this before.
Good point.
You know what I'm saying? She did a lot of things move set wise that she's never done before in any of her big matches, whether it be Toni Storm in the UK or Toni Storm at Worlds Collide or Toni Storm at Mae Young Classic or anybody else at Mae Young Classic.
Right.
She never really showed out like that. Even in her match against Shayna Baszler, it didn't get shown out like that, her moveset. This one, she actually showed out. She proved something to me. She got a little staying power. She can go. You know what I'm saying? So, and I think for me, sky's the limit for her.
Right.
But Bianca, in losing this match, you know what I'm saying? It was underwhelming because she at least should have got a KOD off at some point. And maybe Rhea kicked out of it or something like that. Or she should have kicked out of the Riptide.
Right.
One or the other.
Because to tell the truth, the way that Riptide came about with the corn and everything, she rammed her head into the turnbuckle. It don't look like that would have dazed her enough for her to be down from that Riptide for 3.
Right.
Not as strong. I'm talking about not portrayal strong, but as body strong as Bianca is. She could have kicked out of there.
Okay.
She wasn't
not even that. For me, if I was to keep the match going from that point, all you have to do, they're close enough to the ropes, have Bianca put her leg on the rope barely to make it look like she barely had any energy to do it. And then continue the match from there.
And you know what's funny with, and I'm looking at it from, I feel exactly what you said, but it's funny. It's looking like the push behind Bianca is this. Yeah, she good, but she not good enough yet. So every time she get in a title match, she get pushed to her limit. But then just be like one simple mistake that costs her the match.
Right. And see, this is something.
And they want her to, be able to put it all together. You talk about
I want you to. I meant to let you hear this earlier. This is what people thought on the main roster of Bianca Belair in this match. Listen.
I'm gonna go with Bianca Belair because I think Rhea is just focused on Charlotte, and then she's just gonna let it slip right past her. She's gonna let Bianca slip right past her.
That's Bayley.
And Charlotte knows how to play mind games, so
hold on.
Bianca got $20 on you, dude. Don't mess it up.
Oh, see, I like Rhea Ripley a lot, but I'm gonna go with Bianca Belair because
Alexa Bliss.
She lasted in the Royal Rumble with me, and if anyone that can eliminate the goddess,
she eliminated us,
can probably beat Rhea Ripley.
I'm gonna choose Bianca.
That's Sasha.
I already know this is gonna be a great match. Two phenomenal athletes, but I gotta go with Bianca because that is my boy Montez Ford's wife, so I'm definitely gonna go with her.
Look, I said this on WWE's The Bump. Whoever walks away as the NXT Women's Champion, I'll be happy about.
What do you think about that after hearing that?
Okay, and it seemed like 9 times out of 10 they said what was needed to be said, company wise. It seemed like when Sasha gave hers, it's like hers was cut off, but she had more to say.
Right.
That's one. So I think Sasha might have been saying the real deal. And Kayla Braxton kind of said, well, I'm going to be company correct all the way around. And just say, because at the end of the day, I don't want them to say I had knowledge of who's going to win. So I'm going to be happy whoever wins.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of like, when they ask you what you finna have, a boy or a girl. You may really want a boy, but your first answer going to be, as long as the baby healthy.
Right.
Because that's what we supposed to say.
Right. So, I mean, with the match ending the way it did, I just felt like it had a chance to go to another level. So, for me, it's a 3-star match. Not, it's a little better than halfway, but it had a little bit more to go to where it could have been a 4 or maybe 5-star if they kept going.
I agree with you, with that.
And then
it's interesting because what they have actually done. This is what her second time shot, right?
Yeah, her second one.
Okay. So what they've actually done, they tried it once with her being that cocky, arrogant, stuck up heel. She was kind of a heel.
Yeah.
Okay. Didn't work. Cool. They tried it this time with her still being that cocky, arrogant girl from around the way face. They gonna try it this time. And it kind of worked. But we still don't think she's ready yet. She needs just a little bit more power.
Well, see, for me, and we'll move on from this. She could possibly be getting caught up to the main roster, maybe SmackDown, because SmackDown needs somebody to fight Bayley for real, and maybe you can put her in that realm.
Yeah.
But I know they finna go with Naomi right now.
But right, and what I really would like to see, and this would be interesting because it's gonna happen with that theory. Sasha versus Bianca Belair match.
Yeah. So, after that, we had the Broserweights versus the Undisputed Era's Red Dragon. And like I said, at this point, the crowd had been so wild about everything else. This didn't disappoint either.
Right.
You have a title change. Pete Dunne and Matt Riddle winning their first NXT. Well, not Pete Dunne, but Matt Riddle winning his first NXT gold, even though it's a tag team gold. You know what I'm saying? It was his idea to become a tag team with Pete Dunne. And you know what I'm saying? So them winning solidified, what he wanted to do. They won a Dusty Rhodes Classic. They beat the NXT UK champs. They beat both of their basically competitions over there in Imperium and the Grizzled Young Vets. So that puts them above all the tag teams over there by winning the Dusty Classic. And then they beat the best tag team in NXT. So that was a good run right there. Now they're champs. Now what do you do with them? You know what I'm saying? So,
and like I said, and like I honestly said, this is we were talking about that. I think I was talking to you, and I said this: if they do win, this would be a good way for them to set up a feud with them in the time split.
Right, that's what you said.
Yeah. So that's what I foresee. And Red Dragon and the Time Splitters might have a number one contenders match, and the Time Splitters win, and that's how that happened. Somehow, somebody. But I'm not mad with the way that match went, cause Red Dragon gotta have somebody that beats him. And true, and then you go back to the age old story. Just like the two wrestlers that didn't want to be together ended up being together, working well together, winning
A title.
Right. So I'm just to me the match. If we were giving it a rating, my rating would be a 4 out of 5 stars. It'd be a 4 because it's a title change, so that's one right there, no matter what.
I agree, because with the title change, match probably was a 3.5 based on just the wrestling part of it, but that title change and the way that last sequence went, I think gave it the 4-star thumbs up about it. Because if you want to be real, you didn't think they would win. Nobody kind of did. Everybody had a feeling they could win, right. But it's Red Dragon you going up against.
Exactly.
And it's like, okay, y'all could win, but we gonna pick the Red Dragon because we know who they are.
Right. So basically that's the safe pick. They always come through in the clutch.
Right. So yeah, for me, Red Dragon. So that brings us to the main event, which was Ciampa versus Cole. Now, all intensive purposes, this was a 4.5-ish match.
Yeah, it was.
But the crowd was so tired by this point. And at this point, you're at almost a 3-hour show. And if you count the pre-show, it's almost a 4-hour show. Right. So people been sitting there for a long time. This is the first takeover that they had to kind of sit through and get through for a long period.
Then it's kind of like they front loaded the card of matches, but that's how it would have been either way on the court. But so by the time they got to the title match, it was like, okay, it's gonna be a good match regardless. But yeah, they felt kind of blah. That's how the crowd felt.
Yeah, and they did a lot of stuff in that match.
They did. It was a lot of false finishes in that match.
Yeah, so for me, the false finishes kind of went too far. Because it's like, if you super kick a person 3 times and do your finishing move, which is the second time you did your finishing move on a person, they should just lose off of that alone.
Yeah. Not only to mention the super kicks and everything was to your face. Well, you already have an injured neck. So the torque is injuring your neck with each shot.
That, not to mention that we already messed up your neck twice with what you call it? You should
Ocean Glory.
Yeah. And to the knee, and the wheelbarrow roll into the top of the announce table. You know what I'm saying? A tequila sunrise on the floor outside.
Right, Panama Sunrise.
A Panama Sunrise.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So all those different things, he should be just going off of that. We didn't necessarily need the Johnny Gargano grabbing the title belt, Undisputed Era down there, messing with the referee getting knocked out, the getting hit with the title or missing with the title, doing your Project Champa, getting the visual pin,
right?
And then John Gargano hits you with the belt, and then you're done.
And that was it, right. So at that point, to me, it lost maybe a star and a half.
A half a star.
Because all that didn't need to happen. Now, up until that point, until Johnny Gargano, honestly, to me, it felt like one of those old school Four Horsemen things. Yeah. Try everything. But he's still going to persevere. You know, Rick Flair, Sting in the Four Horsemen.
And Sting still won. Right. So Ciampa was still going to win.
So it kind of gave you that, lucky. And you might be like, okay, maybe Gargano just might pull it out. He going through all this.
Ciampa,
I'm sorry, that's the second time I did that. So it kind of gave you that. But then when Gargano came with the belt, it's like, why? You lost your match. You shouldn't even be here at all unless you got something personal with this guy.
And that's what it is.
Right, but he's going to lose anyway. You're going to make sure he loses.
Yeah.
You want to be the one. That's what it comes down to.
No, see, I take it a different way. All right. The reason Gargano did this to me is because he lost his match. If he won his match, he would have made sure Ciampa won the match. Because that way, he'd have proved he's the number one contender by beating Finn, and he would have helped Ciampa win the match.
To set up a
title match. To set up the title match for WrestleMania weekend.
Because for real, he don't want nobody else to have the title but him.
Right. But
and I don't want Gargano to have it at all.
Right. Ciampa. So
just seeing if you're on your toes, that's all.
So with Gargano losing the Finn, he knew he couldn't get that match with Ciampa for the title.
Right.
Because if Ciampa won, that means he would be going against Finn.
Now, in that same vein, did he do it because he like, well, I lost, and Finn won, and if Finn get the belt, I can't beat him, but I can beat Cole. Let me make sure Cole win.
Nah, because I think he wants his hands on Ciampa still.
Because they still got unfinished business.
Yeah. So that's the only way he can get to Ciampa and have that match.
Okay.
That they have yet to have. And I don't know what you do with that match, but you put some stipulation on it. Now that the belt ain't involved.
You can do that now.
You know what I'm saying? So, and with them two, you done had a street fight, a unsanctioned match.
Right, like where do you go after an unsanctioned
match? Right. Like a First Blood? Or
I don't know if NXT don't push that.
They'll call back to something.
I mean, because other than that, What else can you see?
I don't know. Cause you can do a four corners match.
Yeah.
You can do a steel cage, but that's kind of lame necessarily. Right. So I don't know what other kind of stipulation you could put on it. Maybe an Iron Man match?
But that would be equal to a 2 out of 3 falls match.
No. But they need to have more than 3 falls in this match. Go 60 minutes and have somebody win 4-3, 5-3, something like crazy.
And you know what? I feel that, but I feel like it has to be something on the line in that match. So that's got to either be a title match or like a number one contender match. I don't think they'll just do that. Just to,
But see, I think it's gotten to the point in NXT that you don't have to say a match is a number one contenders match to know it's a number one contenders match.
That's what I'm saying. But you got to kind of have that feel.
Because at this point, after those 4, who's next in line in the title picture?
That's what I'm saying. But it kind of got to have that feel to it. It don't have to be said. Like, we know the Fiend and Gargano match was basically the number one contenders match.
Mm-hmm.
They have to say it to us. We need that type of feel with one of their matches to go again. I don't just want to see them fight just to be fighting.
Nah, but I think you'll feel that.
I mean,
I think they'll build it that way to where you feel like this is a number one contenders match for the next person to fight whoever the champ will be at Takeover Tampa.
Now, honestly, as of right now, with Takeover being done, said done, everything in the books, that arises some questions. I see that I already know it's booked, but where do we go after this being booked? Where Velveteen Dream and Roger Strong go? What is that match booked for? Just to book for them to end their personal beefs and then.
See, so in NXT for a long time, everything had to build towards a title. But if you can get a couple people to get the whatchamacallit, get the crowd involved, get the viewers involved, get people, wanting to see the match, just make it a regular blood feud, then you have this match. That's why this match is here. It's not necessarily for no title. It's not necessarily for a number one contender. It's just they got to get this off. Now, you've had those in the past, whether it be well, I guess those are our titles on the line too. What, Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano, and then even Johnny Gargano Ricochet, or.
But I can understand, and I definitely love the feeling behind this personal feud. I know her,
Yeah, so with that, I mean, it also puts the Rowdy outside of the Undisputed Era and chasing for gold, because the North American title seems like the big Haas division of NXT. Yeah. Like the big dudes that could do little dude things. That's what the North American title feels like.
I mean, honestly, as of right now, I don't see, like we were talking earlier, because let's do that. Let's go title by title if you want to. I don't see nobody other than Damian Priest for Keith Lee right now.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. You got Damian Priest, Dominic Dijakovic, and Keith Lee
and as Bronson Reed
as your top 3.
And then
I don't even count Bronson Reed. Okay. He well down the line.
Okay.
I'll count Killian Dane before anybody else.
All right. You pretty much have to.
So after him though, it's like a long list of people that have no purpose, quote unquote. You got like Kushida, you have Cameron Grimes, you have Bronson Reed, like you said, and then let's see who else is out there that's in that North American ring. Probably Roger Strong, Velveteen Dream ain't even in the realm of that. So then, if you look at the cruiserweight title, I was going to call it the X Division title, but the cruiserweight title, you got Jordan Devlin. He got a slew of people behind him, cause you got Isaiah Swerve Scott, you got Angel Garza, you got Leo Rush, you got
what's DJZ name?
him, Joaquin Phoenix.
That's him. Okay.
Joaquin Phoenix. You even got anybody that's in the X Division on 205 Live. Cruiserweight division, yeah.
You got the people we say in the North American thing.
Not really.
Cameron Grimes.
Not really. He ain't never been. He ain't never even looked like he wanted to. He could be, but they not, because he even fought on 205 Live. So, but they don't. They don't want to. Right. He's on SmackDown. He's not even in that realm.
Okay, so he on SmackDown now.
Yeah. Okay. Because right before SummerSlam, he was talking to Braun Strowman about how he could win the match or something against whoever he was, if he did this, his little what is it called? Shoot.
What is it called? With who?
With Drew Gulak, his PowerPoint presentation. Okay. His PowerPoint presentation. So, at any rate, so all in all, Takeover, probably a 4, maybe a 4.5.
I give it honestly, I give it a 3.75. That's my opinion.
The only reason I give it a 4 is it could have been a 4.5, but I give it a 4 because I think it took too long. They tried something and it didn't necessarily go over as well as they probably thought.
Okay, with that being said, you see, honestly, we actually saw that they had one match too many.
Yeah.
So which match would you have taken out?
At this point, the lowest match, which would have been Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair.
Yeah, so you would have took that match out.
Because all the other matches are needed.
Okay.
The blood feud between Dakota Kai and Tegan Nox is needed. Finn Balor blood feud versus Johnny Gargano, which is a pseudo number 1 contenders match. And then 3 title matches. So, you got to keep those in there. And Rhea Ripley and Bianca under-delivered. They could have went more. For real. Right. Because we just seen Bianca in Royal Rumble last so long, so we know she got stamina. Right. So how, did she get beat? I want to say that match was probably 8 minutes long, if not less. Right. It felt like. It probably it could have reached 12, but I don't think it reached that long. A match of that caliber should have went 15, 16, 17, 20 minutes. It felt like it got cut short because they were short on time. And they knew that they were lasting about 3 hours. They didn't want to go over the 3-hour threshold.
So, yeah, I think, me personally, I think right in that 2-hour range.
2.5 hours is the most you can take from an NXT show.
Y'all try to get everything in that y'all the persons do. So y'all put an extra match in, and then that extra match is underwhelming.
Because the crowd was killed. They was dead because it was like it was too much. It was too much for the fandom in a person to get. You know what I'm saying? They got too much. And it was like I can't say whoa and all this other stuff no more because I'm all cheered out.
Right. And
so
it's kind of like they put, if they were going to do it this way, I would have preferred them put the women's title match
first.
Yeah, if they were going to do it this way.
Yeah.
You know.
At least build into.
Then it made it look the place, but we also forget with the women's title match that Charlotte came out.
Yeah, and you can add those minutes to it, but
right.
Charlotte being there didn't necessarily need to happen. If she was gonna be there, she needed to be involved in the match because.
But I guess the way she did it in storyline makes sense because she was like, since you told me you challenged me, and I haven't accepted you. I told you I'll pick the time and I accept. I'm gonna come in now and accept.
Because I know you the champ.
Right. You just have the match. So what better way for you to make a statement? I accept. This is still my division or whatever. So that's cool. That added a little bit to that match, but it was still underwhelming.
And she didn't hit her natural selection right.
So, all in all, it was a good pay-per-view, and I mean a good year for them. It's a pay-per-view because that's when this is a big event. It was a standalone event on a Sunday, so leave it there. And I have nothing else to say on the subject or on all things. So I just want to tell everybody to like, subscribe, and share. And if nothing else, I'll holler.
Alright, that was Regular Conversations NXT Portland review. We're out.